What's up, everyone? Woo, let's get a little round of applause. Yeah. We are live. Welcome, everybody. This is the whole summer leading up to this, the summer invitational here at Studio SLEW with our awesome 4 other panelists, also not on camera, the one and only Bobby, our producer. Let's give a little round of applause. Woo. Making this all happen. If you're just joining in, what's up? Spam the chat. Where you watching from? It's gonna be a long day today. Hopefully not too long, but 2+ hours. We got a lot to go through. We're gonna wait for a few more people to roll in, and I'm looking at the chat. We're not gonna be doing too much chatting because we gotta get through everything today, guys. We are here to review the top 20 finalists for the painting competition. We are here to award the top 3. We're here to award the honorable mentions. We have a People's Choice Award. And then at the end of the stream, we are doing the raffle. 3 different raffle winners, which is very exciting. Maybe we'll do our first call to action, Bobby. We could put in just the raffle, start it off before we really get into anything. If you are just tuning in and have no idea, this summer-long painting competition as well as raffle, this is all one giant fundraiser for our nonprofit Studio SLEW. All of the ticket price submissions for the invitational as well as all of the tickets for the raffle, 100% of all of that money is being donated to our nonprofit. And we are drawing this raffle at the end of the stream, probably in 2 hours. I can't exactly say when, but we are gonna cut it off in probably 90 minutes. I don't know about the exact time, but throughout the stream, we're gonna sort of promote this raffle so everyone can still get a chance to win these awesome art materials. Over $600 of materials from materials we all use here at the studio all the time, like really awesome materials. The sponsors are awesome. So scan that QR code or just go to studioslew.org/raffle to check it out. Hello from Brazil. Hello from Italy, amazing. Germany, what's up, everybody? Let's see. We're gonna wait a few more minutes to start really diving into everything. I think we could start also with some panel intros. Of course, I'm SLEW. I've had this channel for years, just making videos about fine art, trying to make fine art exciting and accessible. And we have my friends and colleagues here who are all awesome artists. I'll let them do a little intro. Maybe we could start over here. Alex.
I'm Alex. I'm very excited to be here.
Alex. Oh, Alex.
Very lucky to get to spend several years here at the studio working closely with Sam. This has been a really fun project. I'm so excited to check out the paintings that we've looked at and announce the winners.
Good job, Alex.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nia. I'm a mixed media painter and educator. I'm also really excited to be here. It's been really a big inspiration to see all the work submitted. I actually started a new painting just because I saw everything that was submitted, and I was like, I need to get to painting. So excited to be here.
Heck yeah. All right, Nia.
Hey guys, I'm Lucy. I am a monitor and teacher here at Studio SLEW. So if you've been here, you've probably seen me. I'm also the producer at the UAC. Very excited to be on with you guys today.
Woo! All right, Lucy. W's in the chat, guys. I don't have a mic.
Hello everyone, my name is Temi. I'm an international artist here in New York City, working in creative agency. I'm so grateful to be here and thank you guys for joining. This is so incredible. And thank you, SLEW, for inviting me as well. This is so nice to be part of this.
Let's go. All right. So again, we got a long show today. We're gonna go through our top 20 finalists. Again, if you're just tuning in, you have no idea what's happening. We created a painting competition with the specific prompt, the mundane ritual. And that is sort of a generic enough prompt to be interpreted however the artists want to. We spent a few days, us panelists, to go through the submissions. And perfectly on screen, you can see there was a total of 338 submissions, which was incredible. Let's give a round of applause for everyone who submitted. So this photo of all of us, we were here, buckled down in the studio, 2 different days, going through every single submission. we started sort of just narrowing it down. So we went from 338 to 200, right? Sort of 200 to 100, 100 to 50. And then from the top 50, which was really, really challenging, we narrowed it down to our top 20 finalists. And we're gonna go through the top 20 finalists today, sort of give a spotlight, but that was posted on our website, studioslew.org/finalists. You can check it out right now with the final gallery of those top 20 finalists. And so there was also a poll underneath that, and we just ended that. So it was up for, I think, a little over 72 hours where people could vote. And that's gonna be one of the awards today, $1,000 cash art grant for the People's Choice. So it was just an epic adventure. Again, shout out to everyone who submitted. Again, just the agenda, obviously all the ticket submission prices was to raise money for Studio SLEW, but also part of the intentional pie chart of this entire invitational and painting contest was to inspire people to make something, to give people a reason to get up and create something. Maybe use a different medium, maybe experiment, be vulnerable, and create something. Again, we're all artists. We're all different types of artists, and everyone loves art. And sometimes, it's important to find a reason to make stuff. And so that was like a really important thing. So, if you're not on the top 20 finalists or the different honorable mentions, I think you should still feel really proud of yourself for submitting, taking the time to go out of your way and be a part of this project. And we certainly appreciate it. And again, we will look through every single submission. So huge shout out and thank you to everyone. Let's see, I got some notes here. We'll wait a few more minutes for people to roll in. The idea real quick is this is a innately subjective, contest, right? We're 5 different artists. We have different styles, different opinions. And so that's the nature of these contests. This isn't math. This is our opinions, and we have to narrow things down and pick winners. So we'll talk about it later, but we did use a weighted scoring system to sort of determine our 3, grand final winners. And that's sort of an objective system wrapped still in this world of subjectivity. But it's really awesome, and that's why I thought it was really important also to do a People's Choice Award so that you all had the chance to vote for the top 20 finalists. There was over 1,800 people who voted for those paintings, and that will all be revealed in due time. And so just remember throughout this whole thing, this is all subjective, and this is how we're doing things, being as transparent as possible with sort of how we came to our decisions. And it's nothing but love. Again, we're giving away $7,500. I think that's a lot. We just want to support you guys, these artists. This is what the whole art competition is about. Let's see. Anything else? You guys feeling good?
Feeling great.
Yeah?
Excited as look at
Maybe we could talk real quick about like the experience of going through all that work. Like, does anyone want to take the floor, like what the experience was those 2 days, going through all the submissions? Any thoughts?
It was really cool to see the different interpretations of the same activities. So, for example, a lot of people have the same rituals. So we got, for example, a lot of teeth brushing, but the interpretation within that of the different ways people chose to represent that activity or show what it means to them was really cool.
Heck yeah. Anyone else? No wrong answers?
I thought it was just really cool to get to sit and talk through all of the art that was submitted. I think that's a really beautiful part of visual art is that we all perceive it in different ways, and then being able to sit amongst each other and be like, oh, this is what I really like about this painting, and then see maybe Lucy found that same thing in that painting was just a beautiful common ground that I really enjoyed about this process.
I feel like you don't get very many opportunities to sit on a couch with your friends and shout at each other about painting for several hours. It was particularly fun because we help each other critique and learn from one another's paintings while we're painting, but this was a more broad examination of the craft through other people's work. So it was really interesting to see what kind of insights everybody was coming up with and the heated arguments we got into. You guys got spared that part.
Oh, yeah, I agree with everyone. Like, it's so nice to see everyone's story behind. Like, whenever you see this description, and it's just so cool to see what people are representing. Like, every brush or everything that they're using is so amazing. Yeah.
Heck yeah. W's in the chat, right? Again, guys, the idea of the prompt, and again, I've seen some comments being like, oh, what does that mean? Mundane ritual is really defined. You have to understand, like, the idea of a prompt should be as generic as possible so that the artist can interpret however they choose. To really pigeonhole someone into something so narrow and so focused would take away from the idea of creation and invention and interpretation. So the mundane ritual may be different from someone in Italy, may be different from someone in the United States, may be different from all 5 of us here. So it's a prompt to give you some sort of direction, but generic and wide enough to be interpreted however the artist chooses. And I think that, to me personally, and to us, all of us creating this contest, is the route we wanted to take. So that's just another caveat and sort of context to the actual prompt itself. Okay, I think we are ready to move on. We are going to go through the top 20 finalists now to just briefly talk about each painting. Each panelist here has a few paintings they're going to talk about, and this is just to give the flowers, give a little spotlight to the awesome finalists that we determined. And yeah, that's that. So starting off, I think we have Alex over here. We're just going to rifle through these and really appreciate these awesome finalist paintings.
So what we're looking at here is a painting by Kai-Lun Chu. He submitted this painting titled A Day's Work. It was painted with oil on a 16 by 20 linen canvas. And Kai-Lun is depicting one of his peers working on an easel at an open figure painting session. We were all awed by this painting because of its technical mastery and its tight composition. I'm particularly impressed by the economy of brushstrokes in the painting. You can see that nothing's over-described. There's really tight detail moments that are in contrast with really wide, broad strokes. And that sort of helps direct the interest towards our main guy and his expression and features. The variety of texture and transparency in his marks, I think, is very impressive. It demonstrates a really advanced understanding of the medium. And you can also tell that color and value are very tightly controlled the same way. You see these bright, saturated reds in his skin, sort of clashing against darker, cooler tones in the less important places. That really keeps you honed in on the action. And I thought it was really touching that this was made at an open figure painting session, just like the ones that we do here at the studio. So excellent work, Kai-Lun, and congratulations on making top 20.
Great job. Woo.
All right, we have Erica Faison Allen's painting, Generations, which is acrylic on 48 by 60 surface. I was really wowed by this one. I mean, the size alone is every bit as impressive as the detail in the painting. And I'm a big fan of paint bigger, paint larger. I was struck by the compositional choice also of magnolia flowers and bloom around the 2 figures. It's just a really cool representation of blooming and growth and caring for one another. And then I thought the palette for this piece also was beautiful in contrast to the deep black background. Particularly impressed at Erica's highlights in the skin tone. I feel like her representation of brown skin is beautiful here. It shows the richness of the yellows and reds and undertones of dark skin. And overall, it's just an amazing work. This was a beautiful painting. I'm really glad that this came out of this contest. And the story communicates care, community, and shared growth. And I really am impressed, Erica.
Congrats, Erica. Woo-hoo. All right, moving right along, we have Devin Blazer, entitled Working for Art Supplies, i.e., taking a maybe office job to supply the creative hobby outside of work. This is acrylic on canvas, 16 by 20 inches. just a really awesome snapshot of sort of this office life. Like, I feel like we're a fly on the wall for this painting, right? Looking over the shoulder onto the computer screens. Really high level of detail. This is like a relatively smaller canvas, you know, with that notepad in front, everything on screen that sort of gives some Easter eggs and perhaps theme to the idea of working for art supplies. So I just think a really awesome, the content of this is really great. Also, the background really struck me. Like, you know, it's a very small, sort of quaint office, and then you see these windows that go into this giant whatever back office or warehouse, and I think it really just brings immense scale to this painting that otherwise is a very sort of quaint, small window into someone's, you know, desk. And I think it's just really great. A lot of detail. Your eyes can just wander, and it's just like a really, really great effort. Just an awesome, awesome effort. Shout out to Devin. Congrats on making the top 20. Let's give him a round of applause. Moving right along.
Hello, hello. This next painting by Claudia is called The Filter. And I remember when this came on, we were all on the couch, there were some quite vocal ooh, ahs, and gasps in the room because it's such a visceral reaction. Some of us have quite an aversion to touching our eyes, and I think that shows through. You probably felt it too when this came on the screen. This is an oil painting. It's 12 by 16, so like that size maybe. And it looks like watercolor. So these like very gentle mixtures in oil are not easy to do, and it looks phenomenal. Also, drawing in fisheye is quite tricky, and having a distorted eye seen through a contact lens with those like two reflected irises as the focal point of the fisheye distortion is also very cool. And then the colors are so beautiful and subtle, and orange and blue is complementary, warm and cool. We love it. Great work, Claudia. Woo!
So next work is Jeffrey Markworth. Congratulations. This is such an incredible piece. When we saw this, we just wow and gasped as well. And look at the whole background. Like, even though this is just like a simple packing, but the background is very complex. And let's just shout out to the whole working class. Because like working in like, we even don't notice, but this is like such an important job for everyone. And this is just such a beautiful piece, like this orange vest, totally focusing on the picture. Every high detail in the background is such impressive. And we really love the choice of color, the perspective, everything looks really, really nice. So congratulations, Jeffrey. This is an impressive piece.
Good job, Jeffrey. Woo!
Okay, next we're taking a look at this painting by Gretchen Escamilla. The title is Moments of Stillness. And I think this was like, it kind of instantly struck a chord with a lot of us when it hit the screen when we first looked at it. Many of us here are used to working with cameras every day. And this one has this very impressive narrative trick where we've got this figure framed by the screen of the camera. And what I think is really interesting here is that every inch of this painting across the entire board is packed with this like detail and texture. It is kind of blending together still life and portrait, where you've got objects that are treated as just as interesting as this face, and everything is handled with this care and attention, very evenly distributed across the canvas. It has this very beautiful, down-to-earth, homey color scheme, very deep neutral browns. And I like also that it's got this expressive twist where not everything is handled photorealistically, despite the fact that there's a literal camera on the screen. It gives an expression in the way that you perceive it, which communicates a vibe. Very good work, Gretchen. Beautiful job. Congratulations.
All right, next up we have Joby Plunkett's painting, The Promise of the Morning Light. It is oil paint, and I'm really excited about this one. I actually remember looking at this when we first were reviewing, and I had to do a double take because I was like, is this a photograph? Like, did someone not read the rules and regulations? But no, this is a painting. It's oil paint. It's beautiful. It's like a amazing capture of what it's like to sit in your kitchen and have a quiet moment in the morning. The lights filtering in. I mean, the like glass amazing. You know, I think like it's giving like a foggy morning. You're sitting with your cereal. Maybe you're thinking about what you got going on today. And then technically like the rim light on this figure, beautiful. It really captures the like detail in the hair and then the shirt and kind of the looming light coming from behind. So yeah, special shout out for the work that went into this, Joby. I'm really impressed, and congrats again for making it to the top 20.
Congrats, Joby. Congrats, Juno. J to J. Breaking Bath by Juno Hannah. Oil paint, pretty big canvas here, 2 by 3 feet. That is no joke, especially with oil paint. And just immediately, I feel like you're injected into this sort of chaotic scene. Obviously, cat plus water doesn't equal sort of, you know, love. So it seems immediately like this chaotic scene. So it's just like a wonderful sort of snapshot into this, especially with sort of the harsh shadows in the background. You could tell maybe this was a flash photography, which again, just sort of like immortalizes this memory that maybe in real time was a chaotic moment. So I really appreciate that. Sort of as a solidified memory. Also the brushwork is just really chunky. It's very painterly, something I think we all love. A lot of us work in oil paint, and so that's something we really appreciate. You know, the folds in the shirt, the detail in the cat, you know, a really strong portrait that's in profile, really awesome. Also, if you look closely, you can see, and we saw from the reference and process shots, that the painting was sort of washed in a very vibrant hot pink. So around the whole painting, you see these little speckles of that vibrancy coming through. And I think it's like a really, you know, it's just an awesome vibrancy throughout the painting that just adds to the style. And that poor cat, you know, probably cleaned and happy, but in this moment, perhaps, you know, energized and adrenalized, but really awesome. Great job, Juno.
This next painting by Justin Webb, 2Bs, is quite another big one. It is 40 by 30 inches, which is bigger than some people I know. This painting is packed with detail. That sweater, like every knot on that knit has been rendered very carefully. The colors are incredible here, pushing those reds. Again, another temperature change with the blue background. The hands holding the mocha cup, those are reflections on the mocha pot as well. Gorgeous. Like if you crop in, that's another beautiful painting with it composed with another big, beautiful painting as well. Also, every single, I don't know how long this took you, Justin, but every single leaf is rendered to the vein in that background. This is, again, such a beautiful execution. If this were hanging in a room that you walked into, it would definitely catch your eye. Great job, Justin.
So next one is Andrei Leshnik. Congratulations. We saw this piece is very special and really, I feel like very, how can I say, impressive and personal. Like because in his story, this painting called Nicholas Brushing. And Andrei, he's a father. He used to brush his son every day and in daily routine. But now Nicholas becoming older and older and he wants to become independent and he wants to brush his teeth himself. And I think this is like, we saw this is quite unique moment, very special. And this is really nice work. And as you can see, the warm colors and the cool tones, really nicely done. And such a beautiful piece, all the lighting. And look at the ears, like look at the whole face, like looks so great. Like congratulations, Andrei.
Great job. Woo.
So this painting by Kaylee Pendleton is titled Get Home Safe. It is 24 by 36 inches, oil on canvas. And something really incredible about this painting is the intentionality and restraint present in the artist's choices. We have very clean, a very believable portrait in the center, with mark making that gets looser and more expressive the further you radiate out from that center. The artist is using a controlled, carefully selected, split complementary color scheme, and all of this keeps us very focused and cleanly communicates this like very poignant, relatable experience of a nighttime commute. One thing to take away from this painting by Kaylee Pendleton is that by having a very clear plan and sticking to it, you can create really striking results that cut straight into our emotions. Solid work, Kaylee. Congratulations.
Woo!
All right, coming up now is Kelly Franklin Halo. It's oil on paper. It's 24 by 24 inches. Right off the bat, the brush strokes gave my eye a nice lens into the movements of the artist. It gave me flashbacks to being in college and hearing my professors be like, no, paintings should look like paintings. They shouldn't look like a photograph. And this looks like a painting. It looks amazing. And I think Kelly did a great job. And I think it's awesome anytime that visual art and paintings in particular can capture another art form. So in this painting, this figure is playing a guitar. And, you know, I think it's a really beautiful demonstration of this ritual that this person is going into. And then the Easter egg of the sleeping dog. I mean, it just pops out behind the head and you're like, oh, that's really cute. And then the value range is also really lovely. The palette is muted, but it feels intentional that Kelly wanted us to feel like right at home on the couch, chilling with the dog, playing guitar. So amazing work, Kelly. Congrats on making it to the top 20.
Shout out Kelly. Shout out everyone. Also, real quick, if you're just coming in, you could switch it, Bobby. It's all good. If you're just coming in the stream, what we're doing right now is we're reviewing the top 20, just so everyone's sort of caught up. You know, we're halfway through. If you're curious to see all of the top 20 again, if you go to studioslew.org/finalists, there's a gallery to see all of these work. You can zoom in, make it a bigger screen if you're curious about seeing it, because it's worth seeing. All of these artists did so well. So that's what we're doing. We're halfway through. I think this is the 11th or 12th painting. And we're going to carry right along. Lynn Carlman Carmert. Excuse us if we pronounce any of these wrong. Reflections of Belonging, oil on canvas, quite big. I think 87 by 157 is like 3 or 2.5 by 5 feet, something like that. Quite big, quite ambitious. And so that immediately is worth noting. I mean, the format of the painting, it's so awesome. I really was struck by sort of the angle. We sort of have a lower angle looking up. I believe in the artist statement, this is Lynn's younger brother getting ready, doing the hair, and sort of just seeing that viewpoint. Maybe, she was sitting on a bed and just looking up. It creates sort of this hierarchy that the figure is even more important. We see that little reflection of the portrait, which is just like a little morsel. Nice sort of snapshot of the face. Also, all the detail in the room. You know, you can see there's another room behind him, creating more depth. This gorgeous, harsh rim light on the left side of the figure. If you know me, you know I love some rim light. And so, all in all, just a really wonderful, again, this theme of sort of being a fly on the wall in these more intimate moments, which I think is very apropos to the idea of a mundane ritual. And this certainly catches your eye and grasps that sort of motif. And so just an epic, large, awesome painting. Congrats, Lynn.
Woo! Hello, Martina, and I'm going to try my best here. Sienkiewicz. This
Nice.
You got it? All right,
I don't know,
sweet.
but I
Coaching
think
by Temme
so.
here.
It sounds good.
So this painting is titled Love Like a Chore, and it is painted in acrylic, 81 by 60.5 centimeters. Shout out to my metric system homies. This painting is another incredible fisheye, and again, in beautiful colors. I do not know how long those letters took to do, but it's really cool how they also fade in detail as they go into the background, leading the focal point into the face at the center. Great contrast as well. Those blue shadows, but you can still see into them. And then the nice bright yellow highlights from the sun. Very, very nice. This is a killer painting. Great job, Martina.
Okay, so next one is Matthew Flores. Please in the chat, please shout out if this kind of reminds us Studio Ghibli poster. So if you're a big fan of Studio Ghibli, please leave a comment, leave a heart emoji. We love Studio Ghibli. This cat reminds me from the Kiki delivery service, which is such a cutie. So Matthew wrote in the comment that this is actually daily routine for him. During lunch break, he feed the stray cat, and we think this is a beautiful moment. And graphic design wise, this is such a cool perspective composition, how everything is placed, very high contrast and focus on the relationship between Kat and Matthew. And the colors, like I would eat that sandwich. Not gonna lie. This is lunch break, guys. I'm sorry.
Good job, Matthew.
All right, next we're looking at this painting by Natalie Higdon, sorry. This painting's titled Lavana Knitting. It's oil on canvas. It is 16 by 20 inches. And honestly, everybody take a moment, take a look at this painting and think about the incredible amount of meticulous work that went into rendering it out. Go ahead, go to the website so that you can zoom in on this. You will see that every little detail is worked in, I think with a palette knife. It is just like a hair's width is the detail scale that this artist is working with. And that kind of dedication, it kind of mirrors the art of knitting, in my opinion, too. It requires very intense attention to detail and very consistent applied effort. It's really a delight. It demonstrates a really well thought out composition. You can see there's a variety of shapes and textures. The artist has included this wide, roomy negative space up top, which balances really nicely with the intensely clustered detail towards the bottom. We're shown this person focused on a knitting project among this frantic textile clutter of a living space. And I think that sort of this breadth among chaos, it really mirrors this theme of a quiet pause in a busy life. Really solid detailed work on the figure, on the objects. It's all rendered believably. Overall, very well put together project. I'd love to have this on my wall. Solid work, Natalie.
Heck yeah.
All right, we have Nico Miranda with The World Can Wait. It's acrylic and oil paint on 24 by 36 inches. It is really impressive. I think I was instantly reminded of when I rolled over this morning and I was like, all right, guys, just a few more minutes. I'll make it to the studio. We're going to film today. But yeah, the colors in this one, striking. I mean, I think the figure and the pillows kind of being in this like warmer tone in contrast to the blue and purples and the bedding and background really draws you to the figure and kind of focusing on what the emotion that is being communicated there. And for me, that was calm and ease and just kind of being cozy. And so I think that was a really great depiction of a mundane ritual. Everybody starts their day, for the most part, in bed. And so I think this was a beautiful painting, Nico. And congrats again on making it to the top 20.
All right, Nico. Moving right along, Sabrina Larson. This is work in progress, classic oil paint, 60 by 70 centimeters. Don't know what that is in inches, but maybe 1.5 by 2 feet, something like that. Boom. Really awesome. I mean, such a unique take on sort of a self-portrait. We got a lot of self-portraits. We also got a lot of painters sort of in the act of painting. This one stood out so much for a few reasons, I think. First of all, it's almost like breaking the fourth wall in a way. It's a self-portrait, but it's from the perspective of the canvas, right? In terms of that concept, that's actually what Sabrina wrote in her artist statement. So I thought that was really unique. Seeing sort of this very foreshortened brush coming at us, like it just envelops you as the viewer even more. Also, something to note is the eyes. I think the eyes are a really huge focal point, and I don't know if this was on purpose, but it's one of these paintings where wherever you go, even if you're way to left to the right, the eyes follow you, and that's such an awesome affect, and just the life in the eyes, it really drags you in. Really, really strong portraiture, beautiful detailed hair, and then finally sort of that palette, right, which is not the focal point, but it looks so realistic. If anyone paints and uses those classic wooden palettes, that's exactly what it looks like. And so that's just like really nice, a little snack for the eyes. Just a really well executed painting, very unique self-portrait with its concept and execution. Great job, Sabrina.
This painting by Sasha Grush blew our minds when we first saw it. And a bit of a flex, to be honest, to be able to be that consistent with a self-portrait that it just looks perfect as it fades into the background. Also nailing the color fade that happens when you see mirrors reflecting each other. If anybody's ever held two mirrors up, you see it kind of fades to that like matrixy green. And Sasha nailed it here. And also, if you look closely on the tank tops, there's different dates. So in the first reflection, it says Throwback Thursday, and then Tuesday on the one that fades further in, he says in his artist statement, it is to represent the way time passes, or basically the passing of time as light reflects back into our eyes. What an incredible piece, killer concept. Sasha, you killed it, man.
All right.
And yeah, next one is a Stephen Allen. His title is Sharpening, which is a big painting. So let us tell you guys like behind the story. Stefan studied at the Vienna Academy of Visual Arts, and he felt a little bit, he left it somehow. And then after, he found out the Proco course for anatomy, and he took like 4 years at the Watts Atelier. And what this painting means, he wants to find himself through sharpening his skills. And he dedicated all his years just to practice and be sharp, be precise. And this is like divided into two different worlds. The spiritual world, he's like holding a sword and magical experience, and himself, like he's dedicated to his pencil and sharpen every day to make himself better every day. I think we saw like this is a beautiful piece. And yeah, shout out to Stefan.
All right. Is that it? That was all 20, right?
20.
All right. So again, if you're just tuning in, that we just reviewed all 20 of our top 20 finalists, which again is on our website with a nice gallery, studioslew.org/finalists. If you want to go check out the work in greater detail, if you're just tuning into the live stream, let's give another round of applause to everyone. Not only to those top 20 finalists that we decided, but to everyone who submitted. Like, again, there was so much awesome work. It's kind of a bummer for us to really have to narrow it down. We basically had like our top 35, and to really narrow it down to the top 20 was an incredibly challenging decision. But again, that's the nature of these contests, and we had to do it. But just so awesome. And I really appreciate everyone. Again, like, if you didn't make it to the top 20, you should still feel so amped, super proud, and hopefully it only is jump-starting, the idea for you to create more. What we're gonna move on to now, let me just look if I missed anything, a few notes here. We're gonna do another call to action real quick to our raffle. And just like that, Bobby, our producer, is on it. We have the raffle. We are going to draw this raffle at the end of this stream, probably in like an hour. There's still time to go and get a ticket. 100% of the profits from this raffle are being donated to our nonprofit. In fact, 100% of the submission tickets to enter this contest throughout the summer, 100% of those are also being donated. So this whole initiative, this summer contest and raffle is all to raise money for Studio SLEW, the nonprofit, with the direct mission of creating resources and opportunities for artists through fine art experiences. Everyone here is a pivotal part of Studio SLEW, of the organization, and we're just so grateful for everyone who takes classes here in person, and obviously we're trying to be a part online, globally, to help inspire, make fine art accessible and fun. All right, so again, that raffle is being drawn in like an hour. So we're moving on to some actual awards. All right, we're gonna go into the honorable mentions. All right, woo, yeah. Nice. And so I've defined these honorable mentions as outside of the top 20 finalists, people who showed extreme ambition. You know, I want this honorable mention awards to go to up and coming artists, people who were creative out of the box. And this is $250 cash for each honorable mention. And we have 3. So that was sort of the criteria And it was actually my decision. This was just for me. The panelists didn't have their say in it. This was just my opinion. And so we are going to just start rifling the honorable mentions. Okay. Woo! Carlos Lampoon, Rest, 72 by 36 acrylic and colored pencil. This is on a mattress. So we included both photos. The photo on the right is the mattress in its entirety, an old mattress, and the zoomed up picture you can see, obviously someone resting, what you do on a mattress, and then all of the design that came on the mattress, he overlaid over the figurative painting. I thought so unique, so cool, such a crazy, awesome idea, worthy of this honorable mention. Carlos, I think, is 18 years old and is going to RISD, so going into art school, so an ambitious young artist. And I think this was just really, really unique and really awesome. So shout out to Carlos. This is just like an awesome effort. Yeah, really awesome. Number 2, Ella May. This is entitled Skin Tight. Again, 2 by 3 feet, acrylic and oil on canvas, a pretty large painting. And I was really just struck with sort of the multi-figure chaos. Your eye is just bouncing around constantly. This idea of getting ready in the morning, it's sort of this thing you have to do constantly every day. And she visualized that with sort of a layering herself, getting ready in the morning. Just the lower half of this painting, you see all those limbs, all the feet. It's just really striking. It's both sort of shocking and insanely impressive and intriguing. I thought just like a really, really awesome effort. Wasn't in the top 20, but worth sort of showcasing. Also sort of the portrait and profile we don't get to see, so it's almost not identifiable as anyone. It's sort of just the body as an object in this layered, crazy way. Just really unique, really crazy. I thought it was awesome. Congrats, Ella. Moving right along. Now, I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly. Joaquin? Forgive.
I'm guessing Hispanic.
Okay, so forgive me. Hair Day, also 2 by 3 feet. This is an up-and-coming artist. I thought this was a really, really tasteful, emotional piece, ambitious, multi-figure. We have 2 separate rooms in the background, and it's just a really good memory. Like, again, a lot of you submitted these very personal sort of snapshots that includes either your children, your friends, your family, and this to me really spoke. Getting ready in the morning, obviously, an uncle or father preparing someone's hair, and I thought it was just like really quaint, really special. The style of the painting is sort of uniform, and it's just really awesome. And I think Jail, again, forgive the name pronunciation, you should be really proud. This is really impressive. Again, very ambitious, especially if you're just an up-and-coming artist, to sort of execute a full 2 by 3 foot painting, multi-figure. I have nothing but awesome things to say, and congratulations. All right, so again, I'm gonna be in contact with all of you guys to pay you the money, so don't worry if you're just watching that. I will be in contact. That goes for everyone, including the raffle, including the next awards we go through. We are moving right along, and any thoughts so far? Like, we've already spent so much time, you guys, looking at these paintings, but seeing it on the big screen again. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think it's really cool that we get to celebrate all the art that was made for this contest through this medium. I think it's even cooler that this art is existing with these artists and that they can continue to put that out into the world in whatever means they want to. And just that this is like an extra shout out and like highlight into the work and like process that you guys put into these projects. And like you took the time to make new work at that this summer, and kind of focus on this like mundane ritual, and highlight parts of your life that people don't get to see. Thoughts?
Yeah, some of you guys cranked out some giant, very beautiful, ambitious paintings in not that much time. So every second that you get in front of all these eyeballs, you have far surpassed earning. Excellent work from everybody. Very exciting day today.
Me? I can keep going, or I can keep congratulating you guys for absolutely killer work. So many submissions. I wish we could kind of revisit that day of just like seeing them all through. The genuine fun surprise of the reveals to us, and then also realizing that these are all paintings you guys painted for this. So much great art created in conjunction with other people from around the world. So everybody who submitted a painting, you were painting with the same mission and at the same time as somebody completely opposite sides of the globe. So I think that's a pretty awesome thing that y'all did.
Timmy, you got any thoughts?
No, everyone did great. I don't know what to say. Like everything that we like, this whole experience is such a unique moment. Like I think such a cool to be a part of this community, you know. And nowadays, I feel like in such a hard world, like you guys doing amazing. Like keep crushing it. Keep doing this. Like yeah.
Yeah, awesome. We're so grateful to be in this position. And again, just shout out to everyone. To be honest, I think there were some technical difficulties with the raffle. Bob, you want to hit the raffle again? We might have ended it early via website. I just made it live again. For all of those who are wondering, we are giving away 3 different Ultimate Art Kits, all identical, all on the screen here. It should be working now. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat. I think a few of you were having trouble. Go check it out because 100% of the tickets for the raffle are being donated. And, you know, these are materials we all use here. We got some Proco skulls right here. You know, oil paint, brushes from Trekell, plaster casts, acrylic markers, golden acrylics. We got moleskin. It's all just stuff we use, and it's really awesome. So go check it out. We're going to be drawing this in like an hour, so there's still time if you want to be a part of this. We're going to be drawing it live on here. 3 separate winners. Tell me in the chat if it's working, because I just tried to change the settings, so hopefully you're able to purchase tickets still.
Also, Sam didn't mention, do you see those red little things right in the middle in the tiny box? Those are Blackwing pencils. Love those freaking pencils. They are like the best graphite pencils. Alex is nodding. Sam's nodding. These are great pencils, guys. Killer. If you were like, these are scratch, these Blackwings, I swear. Anyway, it's a great kit. You should get the raffle. If you buy these raffle tickets to get yourself nice art supplies, that allows us at this studio nonprofit to get ourselves some nice art supplies as well. So thanks for supporting, guys.
Yeah, not ourselves, the participants that come to the nonprofit. Yeah, so all the money is being donated to our nonprofit, and our mission is very simple, again, very specific: create opportunities and resources for artists through fine art experiences. Every single class we host here, every single experience, we provide all the materials, high quality, it's hyper affordable, low commitment. We're trying to be a bridge. This entire organization is trying to be a bridge for people to get into fine art and make fine art accessible and fun. The raffle ends. I'm seeing some comments. The raffle will probably end in like 30 minutes. We're going to cut it off because then we will input all of the tickets into a randomized wheel and we will draw them live. So again, really a few more minutes, 20, 30 minutes left. The screen can leave now, and you know, if you just need to go to it, it's studioslew.org. It's on the header /raffle. Please and thank you. Our goal was $5,000. We're actually like $200 away from $5,000 in total raffle ticket sales. That's so amazing, right? You guys are so epic, and again, they're awesome materials. Like, we didn't just grab random stuff. Our program, our relationships with these companies are people we love, and they're awesome for providing these resources. So it's legit, super swag, high quality materials anywhere around the world, global shipping. Okay.
Do you want to talk about the plaster casts?
Sure.
Aren't those from a guy we know?
Yes. Shout out Oh my gosh, my name.
Put him on the spot.
Oh, wait, hold on.
No,
Stand
no,
by.
no,
I've
he's
met
my
this
homie.
guy. I should know his name off the top of my head, too.
He just got married, and it's so happy.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, now you put me on the
Florence
spot.
Academy of Art graduate
Yeah, you
made
put
these
me on the
plaster
spot.
casts. Very beautiful studio, really solid work ethic. I'm a really huge fan of this guy. I've actually got that eyeball hanging up in my apartment right now. Whoever gets those, you've got a beautiful little treat right there.
Yeah, it's Justin Ryan Kendall. I just had a brain fart. He's the homie. Again, he's a small business creating super affordable plaster casts for artists, for schools. Do you even want to grab one, Timmy, right now? I mean, we could take a minute. And maybe you could even anything. Yeah, so the idea of what plaster casts are, these are actual casts from the statue of David. This is Fountainhead Gypsoteca. All of our sponsors, all the materials are in the link in the description. But Justin is making affordable casts. This is actually the mouth from the statue of David. That's actually the eye from the statue of David. People got these keys, and over time, we're able to replicate and make casts of it for artists to study from. It's really awesome. That's just one of the elements in the Ultimate Art Kit. There's also really nice panels from Ampersand. There's amazing custom brushes from Trakell. Why don't we throw up the screen one more time, Bobby? Let's put up the raffle. Yeah. So this is a condensed version. Moleskin notebook, Blackwing pencils, Proco skull. Amazing panels, oil paint, acrylic paint. It's a whole amazing kit. Like, I'm so amped. Again, all the money is being donated, so this is just to give back to the community and for you guys to get some awesome supplies. And that's all we'll say right now. So we're going to move on right now to the people's No worries, take your time. Working on audio.
Oh, we're back. Okay, we're good.
We're back. That's what happens. Live stream, balling on a budget. So I'll just repeat everything I said. Basically, we are going into It's okay. Take your time. Maybe you could just kill. We are fixed. I didn't mean to say that.
People's audio.
Okay. Okay, so I'll do it one more time. All good. This is what happens. We're balling on a budget here. We don't do live streams often, and we're killing it. And Bobby's killing it, our producer. Let's give Bobby a round of applause. Come on, Bobby. All right, so the people's choice, very important for us because inherently this is a subjective panel. We are 5 different artists. We have different proclivities. We have different interests. Of course, we have to come and agree to choose our top 3. But just like the Ultimate Art Competition that we host on this YouTube channel, we allow you, the viewers, to choose. We're removing this subjectivity to create a very democratized, completely fair people's choice. And so it was on our website, our top 20 finalists for over 72 hours with a poll. Actually, in fact, even if you go now and you refresh the page at studioslew.org/finalists to see our top 20 finalists, we coded into our website that every time you refresh the page, the order of the paintings would change to, remove the position bias. So the top paintings will be mixed around. If they just permanently, you just see the first few, that creates some bias just with positioning subjectively. And so we really thought about all this, and we want to make it as fair and awesome as possible. And so there were over 1,800 votes, which is awesome. Like, shout out to everyone who voted. We would have loved to keep it up for maybe a week, but is what it is. And so this is the People's Choice Award, again, something that we love and is very important to us. $1,000 in cash to the People's Choice. Let's get a little drum roll. Bobby, when you're ready. Congratulations! Woo! Martina, how did you say it, Bobby? Sienkiewicz. All right. So our local polyglot over here, Timmy speaks like 4 languages. So really awesome. You could see on screen here, Martina got 266 votes of 1,840. And it just ended today at noon. So that goes to show that of the 20, there were a lot. There were a few very close. There wasn't some giant overall winner. I think the next person had 220 votes. There was no cheating, no bots involved. It was very organic. We used a straw poll, which had built-in safeguards. So I'm really happy with how that polling worked, and especially how many people voted, and to see sort of the natural votes with no cheating and no people sort of bot farming, which is always slightly a worry when you make stuff public to vote on. So just really awesome. We'll touch on this real quick. Like, again, I think Martina, this is such a unique self-portrait. This page sort of as a wave funnel enveloping you into sort of that mundane face, reading the Bible, the uniqueness of just the pose, the warmth, the portrait against the background. I think Lucy already reviewed this in the top 20. All good things, and clearly you all agreed. And it's just awesome. Great effort. I think that's all we'll really say about it. $1,000 coming your way, Martina, wherever you are. I will be in touch, of course. Again, let's do some love. What?
I have one more. I wanted to mention something. Bobby, could you put it back? I did want to say, I didn't mention earlier, this is acrylic paint. Like those blends are so nice. It's really hard to do that with acrylic. So killer. This looks like oil paint, which is, if anyone who's ever painted with acrylic knows that's not as easy to do. So killer.
Yeah, and to be completely honest, I think we're all some acrylic paint bias lovers here. I mean, you do a lot of acrylic.
Yeah, some mixed media.
So mixed media. You're the most mixed media. I'm definitely an oil paint biasy. I think all of us, there's nothing wrong with acrylic or oil or anything. It's just food for thought. Acrylic is sort of a different beast, getting really nice blends, gradients. So shout out. Very awesome. Okay. Let's see what we're going here. Okay, so we are actually going to take a very short intermission because I need to end the raffle. And maybe you could put the raffle up, Bobby. Again, I know we're sort of blasting this, but I want to make sure everyone has a chance just in case they want to win this. In 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, we're going to end this raffle. And I need to send all the information to Bobby so we can spin this randomized wheel live. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 7 minutes so we can all go to the bathroom, get a little bite to eat. And when we come back, we are going to do the top 3 finalists. First place getting $2,750. Second place getting $1,750. And I'm trying to remember. I'm getting confused. Third place getting $1,250. So this is a bunch of money, and we're really excited to provide this amount of money to you guys, to these artists. Like it's really awesome, and I think the level of money shouldn't affect the level of work. It's just the more money we can give, the better, and it's just awesome for everyone involved. So again, go to the raffle, buy it now, get your tickets. Final opportunity to get a ticket. Because we're going to cut it off. And that's the last thing we'll say. Yeah, I mean, should we stall for like 2-3 minutes? Bobby, can you put the raffle screen up before we go to intermission? Anyone want to say anything?
I want to talk about the markers.
Okay, go ahead.
Dude, these markers rock. I love the way that paint pens are going in the art supplies industry overall. I think we're seeing some very strong acrylic paint marker options hit the market in a really beautiful way right now. And these paint pens were actually thrust upon me by force by SLEW in a art video. And I was like, okay, let me give these a try. Now I reach for them first. Like if I need to make a card or like a small painting or a tight color sketch, if I'm bored and want to make a little like piece of artwork real fast, these paint pens are my like batarang in my utility belt, which is crazy because I've never had an art supply sneak its way all the way to the front of my toolkit as quickly as these ones did.
And they're Ohuhu.
Ohuhu.
Ohuhu is the company.
Yeah, if you guys
Ooh.
want to see what Alex is talking about, it's one of the episodes in our channel. The one with the Rembrandt portraits, very colorful in the thumbnail. That's what he's talking about. That episode is the one where we thrust these markers upon him, and he seemed to honestly love since he won that episode.
And while we just stalled before we end the raffle, we're going to take a few questions from the chat. You know, like if you have any questions, lock them in. If you have them for me, if you have them for general, we'll sort of blast them throughout. So, you know, now's the time. We'll spend like 5 minutes. We're doing great on time. We're hitting our beats. Yeah. That's a big generic question.
It's a long story.
Yeah.
Take a lot of time. I was an engineer before this.
Right. So my story, you know, for this whole channel, for all of the, you know, social media and the studio, so everything started with graffiti, actually. Graffiti went to like street art went to murals went to like canvas work, specifically portraiture, went to traditional oil painting, portraiture, an amalgamation. No, unfortunately, we're not buying any of the paintings. I don't know if people are familiar with art contests, but you know, a lot of really big art contests, like big art companies, they will buy. That's part of the agreement. They get sort of a cash prize, and also they get the painting is purchased. We're not doing this. This was strictly sort of like the most accessible global digital art competition. So we're not buying any pieces. As much as we were actually literally saying this before, to have the paintings here, that'd be so awesome and epic, but that creates so much logistical complications, shipping, storing 20 paintings. Some of these were like 4 or 5 feet. And so again, in this digital age, this is the easiest way for everyone involved, I think. Yeah, we're not going to show all of the entries. That's kind of insane. There was 330. And this is just the nature of the art competition. Will you read the question out loud? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like, yeah. So people are saying, can you show all of the entire work? And so unfortunately not. Are you going to release the top 50 and top 100 list? Also not. We're not going to do that, unfortunately. We'll do the Ultimate Art Challenge again, of course. Yep, the show we have, which is separate from the nonprofit, that is on this channel. We absolutely have more episodes filmed, ready to upload, so get excited about that. How did you guys get into your favorite mediums? What was the moment you thought, I like this for me and my style? I think that's great to go down the line. Maybe Timmy can start, and we'll just go down the line. Maybe you could put up the raffle thing so everyone can see.
Oh, that's interesting.
And real quick, Timmy, before you go, again, this is the last probably 10 minutes. The raffle will be up. If you want to get your ticket, 100% of these tickets, prices, the money is being donated to our nonprofit. $600, 3 different art kits we're giving away. This will be up for the next final of this question. So go ahead, Timmy. How did you get into art and why? Or no, excuse me. How did you get into your favorite medium? And what was the moment you thought, this is what I love?
That's so interesting. Actually, I came to Studio SLEW almost a year ago, and I used to draw only digitally, but now coming to Studio SLEW, I've been coming to the figure drawing classes, long pose sessions, and I find myself like markers aren't like my strongest ones. It's kind of I feel like I don't. It's like kind of helped me to. I'm a designer in the background, so it's kind of helped me to write the silhouettes, and like markers kind of help me because like I don't think too much. I just need to like put everything on canvas, and as Lucy's know, like I'm very detailed on the drawings and paintings.
Yeah, Temi, I love Temi. We actually have some of his, we can't show you, but it's up on the wall up there. And I've been kind of looking that way all day looking at it. It's, love it. Although if in my case, I think that the key to, if the question is like, how do you figure out I like this and I like it for my style? I think the key, the secret there is experimentation. And this is also I see Temi do. Every time he comes to a session, he picks up something different. Sometimes markers, charcoal, crayons, whatever. Something new most of the time. And I've done the same. I've tried oil, acrylic, watercolor, gouache, crayons, pastels, almost every traditional media. And I still don't think I've picked a favorite. I like to keep it fresh, especially because it helps you, it keeps you painting from painting automatically. I feel like if you always stick to the same thing, you fall into habits and you fall into a routine instead of trying to break the mold and experiment in new ways. I do know though that I don't like painting digitally. I hate sitting in front of a computer all day. So I'll do most things most of the time except paint digitally. So keep experimenting, guys. That's the key here.
I back that 100%. How could you possibly know what you like if you never try it? Your one job as a human, especially if you're young, try everything, get involved, take it seriously, give yourself some breathing room, actually spend time trying things. My YouTube channel has gone from, again, graffiti, street art, spray painting, acrylic, oil, podcasting, vlogs, debauchery. You got to just do what you like, and that's the only thing that's going to drive you to keep doing stuff. You have to enjoy it. You have to be curious. You have to be interested. Drama, 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 but it's awesome. Also, really quickly, I want to shout out, someone asked, how can we look up the finalists? All the top 20 finalists, their Instagrams on studioslew.org/finalists. So if you want to reach out to them, if you like their work, go follow them. And I also will say all of our artists here, I actually didn't add it into the description, which I should, but the original video announcing all of these artists here are incredibly professional, incredibly weathered and experienced, awesome artists. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. And so I really appreciate all of my fellow panelists who are also all my friends and, professionals who help Studio SLEW be awesome. So, you should follow all of them. Maybe during the intermission break, I'll add their Instagrams to the description. Rant over. Nia, how did you get into your favorite medium and why?
Okay,
Or
picking
how?
right up. Experimentation was also my route. I think that I took notes from some of my favorite artists and was like, okay, what are you guys making art with? That was a good starting point. And then I think I was also like, okay, this is contemporary art. We're in the 21st century. We have access to like an insane amount of supplies and varieties and surfaces. And I was like, well, why limit myself to like one thing? Oh, for context, I'm a mixed media painter. So like acrylic, oil, pastels, whatever I can kind of layer and make the mirrors, like whatever I can make the chemistry of the materials work, I'm painting with. So yeah, I think I just was like, well, I have access to all these materials, and they can be layered in really creative and fun ways. And so my process most of the time is like an acrylic underpainting, and then I'm kind of like, where can I go from that? Last year I did a painting with like mirror tiles because I saw somebody working with those, and it was a really meticulous process to go in with like a little tweezer and be like, okay, this little mirror tile, and then go from there. But yeah, I think go big, go crazy. I'm an advocate for do more.
On the matter of medium, I think I got very lucky in who I came into contact with and what sort of activities I got up to as a young artist. Coming out of high school, I just wanted to draw Batman. I wanted to make like superhero drawings out of Sharpies. And that was about the extent of my medium exploration. And I got to art school and had the privilege of having professors sort of leer at me and crack the whip and encourage me to try a variety of mediums. And I think sort of being encouraged that direction, being forced to do acrylic, watercolor, oil, I wound up putting my hands on things that I otherwise would not have independently tried. And because of that, I learned which things I didn't enjoy, which things I did. I'm too clumsy for charcoal. That'll wind up on my face more than the page. But oil painting is where I landed. And I think it is experientially one of the smoothest and most satisfying mediums to work with. I think that when you look at it, if you go to an art museum, the sculptural quality and the light refracting qualities of these oil paintings it's really romantic. It's a feast for the eyes. So oil wound up being my favorite, but that was through, just like everybody else is saying, it was through trying everything. And not every person is going to land on the same right answer for what their medium is. Mine just happens to be oil.
Well said. This is our local poet here, the Silver Tongue Alex.
No,
Just
it's
gorgeous.
beautifully well spoken.
I just was entranced. I would like to say the raffle is officially closed. In the last hour, we crossed our threshold of $5,000. Huge shout out to everyone. Officially, we have raised $5,338 through the raffle. 100% of that $5,338 will be donated to Studio SLEW. Huge shout out, like really from the bottom of my heart, from all of us here. This is so awesome. You guys made this so special. Of course, everyone who submitted to this invitational. It's just really awesome. A summer long, first time. This was sort of a random last minute idea we had. I think we're going to run it back next year, maybe even do it twice a year. Really epic. Right now, we're going to take a quick 7-minute break and come back and announce our 3 winners, giving away $5,000 to the 3 winners, different amounts. And then we're going to draw the raffle at the very end. So a quick 7-minute break. Stay with us. We're going to go to the bathroom, get some food, and we're going to be right here. Hello, we are back. Check, check. Is the audio working? We're feeling good. Alex is coming back from the bathroom. Alex, we are live. Come join us. So hopefully everyone had a wonderful bathroom break. We ate some leftover pizza. We did some sun salutations, and we are back. Hopefully everyone's excited for the big reveal of our grand finale winners and our raffle spin, which is extremely exciting. Again, we surpassed $5,000 on the raffle, so shout out to everyone. I really appreciate that. That was like super, super epic and awesome. So we're gonna dive into the finalists now. And again, I really wanna touch on this idea of how we came to our final decision, because I think there's a lack of transparency with a lot of big art competitions. And it's just sort of this panel, maybe it's famous artists, but for whatever reason, they're just like, this is the winner, that's the winner. We created a really objective system, again, within this envelope and umbrella of subjectivity. Art is subjective. Art is not math. Everyone here on this panel has a different opinion, and that's how it should be. That creates a dynamic group of ideas. And so we created this weighted scoring system, and we just want to go through it really quickly with you. So 40 points total. All 20 finalists got a score from all 5 of us with a maximum of 40 points. So each 20 finalists could get a maximum score of 200 points, all right? So technical execution got a weighted score of 15, and that we defined as mastery of fundamentals within sort of these ideas of value, drawing, paint application, and color. So sort of like very technical ideas here. Another 15 points was weighted for visual architecture. This is a lot to do with composition, how shapes and imagery work together to create sort of some unified, creative, cohesive piece. Again, these definitions were interpreted by each of us, right? We give ourselves a definition, but it still can be interpreted differently. Now, narrative and ambition, that had a weighted score of 5 points. That's the originality of the interpretation, the mundane ritual, and sort of the labor behind the work, the ambition. Okay, maybe someone did 11 by 17, but obviously some people did 2 by 3 feet. That should be incorporated, this idea of the amount of work it takes. Obviously, through the submission form, we couldn't, it's hard to meter, oh, did this take you 20 hours or did this take you 100 hours? But it's sort of our way of giving, some specific points to that idea of ambition. I'm ranting. But this is important. I think this is very interesting. Again, this is just what we came up with. Final sort of weighted scoring points is the overall impact, that stop and stare quality. You know, immediately just looking at a piece, which I think a lot of our top 20 finalists had, and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? Your brain immediately goes, all I want to do is look at it more. And why do I want to look at it more? What does it evoke in me as an artist emotionally? Emotional, visceral response is very different from sort of technical process and execution. So these are the amalgamation, these ideas, these 4 categories is what we determined. And again, all 5 of us gave 40, a score of up to 40 for each 20. Okay, and so this is just us being as transparent as possible. Now, this is an objective idea in a subjective system. I sound like a broken record, but I want to be very clear. Like, if you want to start your own contest and run your own contest, you could do it how you want to. Of course, everyone should be entitled to do whatever you want. This is how we decided it, and I think we are all in agreement. This is a very like cool, even, and dynamic way of creating a contest, especially for you, the viewers and people who are participated. You really get to see the inside of how we came to the conclusion. So, wow, okay, Grant. Top 20,
go.
yeah, let's go, 2020. So we did the top 20. You can scroll back in this. Now we're doing the top 3. So we're gonna go 3 to 2 to 1. The third, we could go, little drum roll, third place with a total of 1,250. Jeffrey Markworth, congratulations. I think we all should say a few things. You know, I don't know who talked about this. I think Timmy. But again, warehouse shipping, acrylic, an acrylic wash on paper, 11 by 17. So that actually is pretty small. So the amount of detail that was rendered in that somewhat small painting is just extremely impressive. You could see all of the little cardboard pieces behind the subject, all of the stuff. It is super, super, super impressive, and I think really deserving. You could see on screen here, it scored a 172 points out of 200 from all of our voting. Can we maybe go down the line and we could all say something about it?
Yeah, before we said about this piece, Jeffrey Markworth, congratulations. This is an incredible piece. And yeah, like, as you can see here, all the materials and the texture, like on the metal in the background, and how you did the character, everything is amazing. It feels like, you know, day-to-day job, but the person doing amazing, like making important job for all of us. Yeah.
I could talk about this piece for a while. Yes. Like, if you look at the way Jeffrey has treated the different materials, like the reflection of the tape on the boxes and the reflection on the screen in the back, like that screen is reflecting something that's out of frame. The reflections in the glasses, the way he's illustrated the light coming off of the scanner, and also that tangle of cables in the back. Like there's so much little detail. Like you can even see the holes on the printer. Like there's not an aspect missed. Like even the stamps on the boxes are rendered. So this is crazy attention to detail. Absolutely killed it, Jeffrey.
You can go.
I think building off of what everyone said, detail. It's like really impressive that coming from the background up into the foreground of the painting with the figure, there is detail on every level. The shadows, I actually really want to shout out. I think it's really easy when you're doing a painting like this and you have like kind of stagnant objects in the background, like boxes that are naturally already really flat, to just kind of paint them a solid color and be like, all right, I'm moving on. And I'm sure that that was part of the process in building this painting, but like Jeffrey definitely went back and continued to layer and make those browns very detailed and like vibrant in the shade of brown, which can be complex to paint. And then like even just choosing to simplify some things, like the light coming from the scanner, that's like a really nice pop in the painting that just brings you right to like the foreground and what this figure is actually doing and engaging in. Yeah, amazing. I hope that this grant really continues to help you make art.
Yeah, there is no question that Jeffrey Markworth, you've made a very good painting here. I think that it's really intelligently created and very technically executed. If we give it the squint test, just squint your eyes, take a look at it. It is very clear from the composition where the subject lives. Our craftsperson, our creator, Jeffrey here, has created a piece that works at a glance, where it's clear where the subject lives. That's designated by color, by detail, by being a person narratively alone in a room full of cardboard boxes. But it also works if you open your eyes. There is every little moment that you look at closely in this painting, among what at a glance is a simple and easy to process background of grays and browns, you see all of these tiny, intricate, beautiful little details. So incredible attention to detail, incredible execution. Very well done, Jeffrey.
Congratulations, Jeffrey. And I just see Jeffrey commented, so he's in the chat, he's watching. Congratulations, really epic. Jeffrey's Instagram is actually not on the screen, but it's on the Studio SLEW studioslew.org/finalists. Check out Jeffrey. This is just awesome. Again, just ambition, detail, execution, mundane, everyday, these workers in a shipping facility, and how you can create such a juicy, amazing image from something so mundane. And it's just really impressive. So shout out. Really, really humongous shout out. And these were not easy decisions. Again, I see some comments, people saying, what are the other scores? We're not going to reveal sort of the other scores. It's really just the top three. There was, the fourth place was so close. Maybe it was a few points off. So again, this is a very hard decision, but we're using that weighted score system to be as objective as we can in this subjective world. So yes, it was a very, very close race for third, second, and first, as you'll see with the scoring system. But shout out. Moving on. Drum roll for second place. Oh, we're immediately there. Bobby's too great. Shout out Bobby, our producer behind the scenes, making this live stream what it is. Congratulations to Gretchen Escamilla. Really awesome. I remember really vividly when this came up, when we were reviewing all 300 plus submissions. This was, going from 330. Our only objective after that was to go to 200, but I think we all agreed that this was probably immediately going to be in the top 50, if not top 20. So it's just incredible. The creativity, the emotion, the painterly style, the portrait in that very small frame. Again, this is 21 by 21 inches. So that small LCD display of the portrait has got to be under 4 inches. Maybe it's like 5 inches total. It's just really unique, really cool. And again, it scored a 175 out of 200 from all of our individual scores of 40. So that's sort of the combination of all of our individual scores out of 40. Moment of stillness in oil painting. Let's talk about it some more. Timmy.
Congratulations, Gretchen. This is such a wonderful piece. And I'm also a cameraman, so I can relate to this piece very closely. And I really like how the artist pointed every like a f-stop and the ICO in the background. I really love the composition. This is how to be a video editor or to be an influencer, day-to-day life. And I really like it, the number on the fingers. It's also really nice. Yeah, the tattoos, really nice. Congratulations, Gretchen.
Woo! Yeah, Gretchen, you killed it, but also please put an SD card in your computer. I think it says no card there on the screen. What I do want to say is one of the first things that came to mind here is that the subtlety in value changes. Like on those stripes as they fade out, it is one of the hardest things to do, at least for me as a painter, is to show restraint, to be subtle. Because when you see a color difference, a value difference, you go, that's really cool. I'm going to punch that up, crank that saturation. But I think the way that Gretchen toned down the surroundings and saturated the screen really enhances the composition and also kind of brings you into this world. If it were all sharp and very resolved, nothing would be. Your eye would go everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So having such a strong focal point shows clear intention, and honestly, my favorite thing about this piece.
I was also really impressed by this painting. I think you guys didn't get to see this, but in part of our review was looking at the process pictures. And I remember Gretchen submitted her process pictures, and they included that the camera and the little lens was one image with a blank screen, and then there was a separate image that Gretchen had taken of the subject and kind of inserted it into this painting. And so getting to see the technical like how-to was really cool for me to see. And I think that's like a beautiful part of modern painting, is that we can use photographs in order to continue to build our paintings. Same thing everyone said. I mean, the wood, the detail in the foreground, beautiful. I mean, it's really got me entranced and just kind of like building from that bottom portion of the painting and then moving right into that camera and looking into the figure. Amazing. Congrats again.
Yeah, well said, everyone. I think that one really interesting thing about this piece for me is it's kind of ironic that it's a painting of a camera, the tool that we use to create exact image replications of objects and people in our lives. And here, Gretchen is showing us why you shouldn't use a camera to communicate every image. I really love this like wiggly, bendy, twisty, expressive lens through which she's expressing this scene to us. We're not looking at exact straight lines the way that they would be presented to us were this just a photograph. And that's kind of the advantage of making a painting. You can communicate something more than what you've seen just with your eyeballs or with the camera. I like that there's no straight lines. I like that it's kind of almost a fisheye effect. But all of it just winds up being kind of dreamlike and surreal in a really beautiful way.
Great job. So before we move on to our grand prize first place, I would like to mention that I didn't really, and Nia touched on it, part of our submission process to prevent AI, to really prove that each artist made new work specifically for this contest. Again, we sort of created a bunch of safeguards. All of the artists had to submit process photos and reference, and we checked every submission, but specifically the top 20, of course, to make sure their reference photo wasn't AI generated and that their final painting, any part of the process wasn't manipulated at all. So it's really hard. It would be really complicated for us and our producer within this live stream to give you all of those different images, right? Like there was like 4 or 5 different images on top of the final artwork that we got to see. We got to see process shots. We got to see their reference. And it's really interesting and awesome for us, and it helped us decide. But again, logistically, I don't think it would create this live stream would be too like, it would be too much information. It would be a little like over encumbering in terms of the amount of things, if that makes sense. But we are referring to some things, artist statements, reference images. And again, maybe moving forward, we'll add that to the next time we do it because I think it's really interesting. But I just want to note that we had a lot of information from each artist, each person who submitted. We had process A, process B, basically starting the painting, midway through, and the final painting. And we also got all of their reference material. And so that just gives us more context. But again, sometimes you don't need the context, right? Like especially the People's Choice Award, you guys just saw the final painting, and I think that's how it should be. You should be judging and choosing the image, just its final piece, just like you go to a museum or any of these paintings behind. Actually, all of these paintings behind have a video of them. But that's the idea, that's the difference, and it's interesting to mention and note, but that's part of it. Okay, without further ado, let's do a little drum roll. For first place, coming away with $2,750. Congratulations to Sasha Grush. Reflections on Past Visions. This is acrylic on wood, 60 by 30 centimeters. A total score of 178. So again, the top 3 paintings, I think, were 6 points from each other. So very close. But again, we used our weighted scoring system. Every single person got an even amount of say to who gets these final prizes. Absolutely humongously awesome effort, Sasha. Just incredible. Let's go down the line. Let's actually start Alex over here because we started on the other side. Congratulations, Sasha.
Okay, kicking us off, I think Sasha Grush, I think we can all agree that this is a painting that is a really intelligent idea and executed exactly correctly according to the artist's plan. If you wanted to talk about this painting and the way that it was done, it would ultimately just come down to subjective ideas at this point, because it's very clear that the artist had a vision and had the skills to back it up. Very well thought out composition, excellent perspective drawing on the figure. The color shift is a really impressive trick. It's clean, it communicates very well, reads at a glance, and is really enjoyable up close or from far away. Sasha, clean, solid work, no notes.
Yes, a really impressive painting. I think one of the first things technically that I was impressed by is very difficult, if you've ever done it, to repeat and paint the same thing over and over. I think makes sense. Your eyes trained to whatever you're looking at, and to go and be like, all right, I need to repeat this and tweak minor things, the palette and the tone of whatever I'm painting. Beautiful execution. I think this reminds me of another piece. I'm blanking on the name and the artist, but it's like a painting done where somebody's at an easel and they're just painting themselves into the painting. And this is kind of a similar process of just seeing live action what the artist looks like. Yeah, beautiful piece. Congrats, Sasha.
Sasha, you already heard all my amazing kind words, so I will be a little shorter this time, but I do want to talk a little bit about the process, the same way Nia did about the other painting. From what we saw that Sasha submitted in their kind of process photos is that there was no mirror. These were individual photos that were taken and then composited on the canvas manually, which is why that green tint is even more impressive because it wasn't present in the reference. That was something that Sasha put in using their knowledge of how mirrors work, which is so sick. And also, this is acrylic. So all those beautiful subtle blends were also mixed manually, which is another incredible thing. And also, you can see the date in the corner. It's 12th of 8th, because this is probably centimeters, metric gang, this is not America. So you flip the dates. That is August 12th, 2026 in the bottom right corner. So very recently done. Great work, Sasha.
Wow, your vision is so amazing. God. I barely see. But no, this is amazing. Congratulations, Sasha. This is beautiful work. I think in person, it will be so hard to execute like this photography. If you want to take a picture, it will be really hard to execute this way of composition and perspective. This is so well done. And you can look at the skin, like how his skin is reflecting to the light. And this kind of reminds me from the anime called Paprika. It's like a well-used mirror reflection, or Matrix, another movie, good reference. And yeah, I really love this piece. We all look at the work in progress. We actually saw the video as well in his Instagram. So how he's painting and working in progress. And it was a so tiny piece. It's incredible. Good job, Sasha.
Congratulations. Yeah, the final words. Again, I think, what is painting? What is painting? what are we doing here? A philosophical view, 30,000 feet up. This idea, do you mind putting it back? Sorry, Bobby. we all have great ideas and we all have visions. It's something different to execute on an idea and vision, right? Like, again, he didn't take some reference photo with his perfect infinity mirror. He planned portraits of himself, multiple images. He composited that. He created some sort of composition within the format of the canvas, and he sized it up. It's just a humongous puzzle. Having a vision and executing that with technical skill, color theory, painting, it's just awesome. And that goes for everyone in the top 20 finalists. That goes for everyone who submitted. Like, that is why painting is so awesome, right? It creates, it forces you to have a vision and execute on that. And you have to just do it. There's no other way around it. I don't know. I'm not trying to be motivational or anything. It's just this idea of, wow, this didn't exist. Now it does. Mundane ritual, brushing your teeth. Also, I will like to just say, like, the frame of the white, it's almost like this floating infinity, random. Like, it's very almost, I don't know how what you would say, but like, it's almost like dreamlike.
Yeah, like we entered the space.
Yeah, surreal. Like, there's no bound, there's no border. It's just sort of him and this reflection. We see Sasha here in the comments. Thank you for all the appreciation on my piece. Congratulations. Just awesome. And we can, go to the wide, Bobby, and just say again, a huge congratulations to everyone. Again, we spent so much time reviewing all of your work. Everyone who submitted had the time of day from all of us, and we just want to say thank you so much. Again, there has to be 3 winners. There has to be a people's choice, but truly everyone who submitted, I think, is a winner. And I don't say that, to be woo-woo. It's really awesome. Like, if you took the time to make something for this competition, you should be really proud of yourself, and that's the point. That's what we're trying to do here at Studio SLEW, our nonprofit, who's giving all this money away. Where all the money from the ticket submissions and the raffle tickets, 100% of it is being donated to this organization that all we want to do here is support artists and create resources and opportunities. So I think we really accomplished that. We're able to give back to artists. We're able to give people a platform. And we're also trying to inspire you to make something. So a little slap in the butt to say, hey, get out there and paint something, right? So one more time, congratulations to everyone and everyone in the chat here listening. Shout out. So without further ado, we are switching to the final portion of the live stream, the raffle. Thank you so much. We have on screen here, before Bobby clicks anything, this looks crazy, but this is every single person who has a ticket. Some people bought 1 ticket. Some people bought 50 tickets. And so if you bought 50 tickets, your name is on this wheel 50 times. This is a random wheel generator. We had downloaded the CSV, if we want to be very technical here, just 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. All of the people who bought a ticket, every single person is on this wheel. We are going to spin it 3 times. And we will pick the winners. Again, humongous thank you. $5,338 was generated through this raffle. All of the sponsors of this raffle are in the description. The ultimate art kits, materials we use here all the time at Studio SLEW, and just really high quality materials. We have nothing, I personally, and all of us, I think I could speak for you guys, really high quality materials. Like, we're not just throwing in random materials here. It's really high level stuff, international shipping. So shut up, SLEW. Let's do it, Bobby. Let's do the first one. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is a lot of names to go through. It looks crazy. Dun, 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 dun. Natalia Saldana. Can anyone say that properly?
Natalie Saldana, congratulations.
Natalie Saldana, congratulations. That is awesome. Wherever you are in the world, you will be receiving this ultimate art kit. Now, we are going to remove Natalie Saldana from the list. So no matter how many submissions she has, all of her tickets are out, so we will spin again.
2 more tries.
2 more. Here we go. This is really exciting. My heart is racing.
It's crazy to see in action.
Nancy Cole. Do we know Nancy?
Is that our
No.
Nancy?
No. Okay, I know a lot
We
of
don't know
Nancy's.
This Nancy. This is a different one.
I don't know if I know you, Nancy, but congratulations. Nancy Cole, you are getting an Ultimate Art Kit. $600 worth of awesome art materials. Thank you so much for buying a raffle ticket. Congratulations. Let's take a second. Let's take a breath. Maybe let's go. How are we feeling? Like real quick. Let's create the drama here. Timmy, how are you feeling? What's
Feeling
going through your mind?
Feeling good. This is so exciting. Chat, please write it in the comment. How are you guys feeling? Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Please. Oh my gosh. I feel excited. This is such a fun. I will do this all day long. Not gonna lie. Yeah, how do you feel, Lucy?
I'm pretty good. I have a lucky position here because I get to read the chat over Sam's shoulder. Somebody actually, do you mind if I'm?
Go ahead.
Somebody actually asked, what does value mean? That we keep using the word all the time. And if you'll excuse me a very brief art instruction moment here, value is lightness to darkness. So it is, in terms of the pyramid of components of color, you have value, then you have saturation, and then you have hue. So value is just how dark or light something is, and it is the most fundamental building block of any painting or composition. So when we talk about value, we're saying it is a very strongly built painting, and the composition is very strong. That's what we're talking about when we say value.
I love it. Lucy's an instructor here at Studio SLEW and a great artist. And yes, these are important terms. Value is law, color is preference. If you take a photo on your phone and you remove the saturation and it's just black and white, everything still reads. You have form, you have volume because the light and shadow read. If you remove that and just do color, it becomes all wonky. Value is king. Nia, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm cracking up at us jumping into art instruction in the middle of this. But that is exactly what the studio is about. And it's exciting that we're getting to do this raffle and then we got to go through the top 20 and see all this art. And I'm excited for this last winner and whatever art you get to make from these materials. Alex?
Oh, this is dope. What a rush, man. I mean, we can talk all day about art, but like, let's talk a little bit about gambling. This is excellent. I don't know if you guys watch horse racing. I feel like we just watched Nancy Cole pull across the finish line at the last minute. You know, when I see that wheel spin, my heart is beating so fast. I just, like rolling dice.
My name's not in there, but it might as well be with this excitement.
Yeah, I'm having so much fun. What a rush.
And if you could switch to the wide, Bobby, one more time, like, again, the money that we're giving away hopefully is going to these artists to pursue their artistic craft more. Of course, it's cash. You could do whatever you want. There's no rules. I think I actually saw a lot of people originally in the video saying, oh, is this a grant we have to spend something on? No, this is just straight up cash that these artists are getting. The honorable mentions, the People's Choice, the 3 finalists as well. I guess these are just materials, but it's for anyone to do whatever they want. But we hope, of course, that it's going to fuel your creativity. It's going to get you to maybe buy a new easel or get new art materials so that you pursue your artistic passion or whatever you want to do further. And obviously, specifically with this raffle, it's just art materials. And you know, you're getting 4 amazing panels, you're getting oil paint, acrylic paint, you're getting brushes, you're getting, you know, plaster cast references, you're getting a moleskin, a really high quality journal, you're getting a Proco skull. All of these things hopefully is just going to be fuel to the fire for these artists or whoever submitted. Enough ranting. Let's go to the last spin of this raffle. Thank you to everyone and congratulations to all of our past winners. Bobby, without further ado.
Maybe another end name.
Yes. Oh, is it 2 end names?
Yeah, the one in the comments.
Okay. So yeah, that would be kind of Oliver Wheatley, congratulations and thank you so much for buying some raffle tickets. Thank you to everyone. Oh my gosh, I mean, we've said it enough. We're ranting. So grateful. This is selfishly so fun for us, I think. I mean, our job to just go through awesome artwork for a few days together as friends, as professionals, representing Studio SLEW, representing this mission, this organization to make fine art accessible, to make fine art fun, to give people opportunities. The platform that I have and that we have all created, we're just so excited. We're so amped. And it's also not that serious. It's just like some art, you know, like, let's not be too dramatic here, right? Like, we're all people. We love to paint. I like to paint what I like. Lucy likes to paint what she likes. You know, everyone just does their own thing, and this competition is just sort of an excuse to make some stuff, be vulnerable, and submit. I'm seeing the chat go wild here. Really appreciate everyone. Maybe we'll have some final thoughts. Again, all of the people who won today, the raffle, I will be in touch, all right? This might be like a multi-week process, especially paying people, sending out these ultimate art kits. So please be patient. I will absolutely reach out to all of you shortly and we'll get it done. But why don't we just go down? Any final thoughts, Alex? Ideas here?
I am just so grateful that I got to meet all 300 of you who submitted through your artwork. We have taken a glimpse into the minds and processes of people around the entire planet Earth during this project. And that's like a very beautiful, very intimate thing. It's not easy to share a fraction of yourself and creativity, particularly when you know that your little baby is going to be stood up in a line and compared with 1,000 other little babies. So the bravery, the creativity, the effort, all of that coming from everybody who submitted, I am just boundlessly, endlessly impressed. And I thank you all so much for letting me be a part of it.
Beautifully well said. I agree. I think this is a very intimate and personal space for you guys to have taken the time to submit your final works, your process, your reference images, and really give us a snapshot of your process and who you are as a person. And I also applaud you for just taking the time to like make a painting and make a work of art that is like within a context of this contest, you know, making something that's focusing on the mundane ritual and taking the time to think through thoughtfully, what does that look like for you? What would you like to highlight? And now you have another painting in your portfolio. I encourage you to take those works of art and put them out into the world further, and to find a way to celebrate them in person.
Well said, Neil. Lucy?
I just want to say thanks, everybody. I love art, and getting to spend the past few days looking at some great art from everybody and then having to do this experience and then getting to like read in the moment what you guys are saying was great. So thanks for showing up and being a part of our competition.
Woo!
Yeah, guys, like, as you can know, like, you guys watching from all over the world, and one thing that unites all of us is art. And this is like very special moment for all of us. And this is like a unique language, like what's happening in the world right now. This is the only strengths that we can come up together and just become who you truly are and like who you really want to become. And this is like sharing your artwork. It's not easy. And this is like very brave of you guys that you shared with us. And this is a very special moment. And thank you guys. This is such an incredible experience. And yes, let's just create and let's just stand out. Yeah.
Yeah, well said, Timmy. And with that, I have nothing else to add except a giant thank you. Giant thank you to all these panelists. Again, really professional, amazing, my friends, colleagues, people who make this organization so awesome. Shout out also to Bobby, our producer. Big round of applause. This live stream stuff is not easy, right? Like, we prepared a lot and it went really great, I think. And it's a really cool thing in this day and age to be able to like communicate live. It's just so cool. I think we're gonna do it a lot moving forward. So stay tuned. Get amped for some more painting competitions. We got the ultimate art competition. We got so much stuff going around here at the studio. This whole studio, you know, the DNA is to make fine art fun, make fine art accessible, and share and give people platforms. We're here in Brooklyn, New York. Again, a bunch of different artists, people from different places of the world doing different things, but we could all come together, a like-minded community. Again, I don't need to be so sappy, but it's just awesome. Like, what a wonderful time. And that's really it. Super chat from Alicia. Shout out, Alicia.
Shout out you. Thank you.
Alicia has been following the channel for years. She came to a session. I've known Alicia for years, so shout out. Nia's hair looks awesome, by the way, is her super chat. The one super chat we got, and well said. Again, thank you to everyone. Again, if you're just tuning in, we've finished going through all of the top 20, our final 3 honorable mentions, People's Choice. This video will live on YouTube, so you can watch it back. And that's all we really got. Again, huge thank you to everyone. Huge thank you to our sponsors. Huge thank you to you panelists. Bobby. Bye-bye.
Thank you, world.
See you guys.